All right, welcome everyone to our Huntsman Experience Workshop for the finance major. The main purpose for us to hold these workshops is for us to be able to get some of the just like basic kind of nitty-gritty information out to students in a big group setting so that as we meet together in our one-on-one appointments, that they can be more catered to you, where you're at, what your needs are and your goals, so we can help you press onward in your education. This workshop is kind of a two-part thing in terms of being marked as complete. So attending right now is part one. And then at the end of the workshop, we'll direct you to a form, a completion form that you'll take a few minutes, fill out and submit that, which will come to me so that I can mark you off as fully finishing the workshop. And we'll direct you to that at the end and what those next steps look like. That is also what we use to help you avoid getting a registration hold on your account come October 14th. So as long as you have that form submitted before then, you won't get a hold on your account. So that's great, a win-win. You'll also get a kickback email after you've submitted the form, which will provide you with a bunch of the links and information that we talk about today. So you can utilize that and keep that on hand as a resource for some different information. So you don't necessarily need to like furiously write notes or anything. You'll get that information as a follow-up as well. Okay, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll spend the first little bit talking about some academic related information, and then I'll turn the time over to Erin to discuss career focused items. Okay, so first and foremost, we want you to be familiar with your team. This is a unique resource that we have here in the business school that not all other colleges on campus have. In addition to myself, Lindsay Kazer, as your academic advisor, you also have a career specialist, Erin Bergeron. So my role is anything course, graduation, major requirement related. That's where I come in. And if we're talking about policies or whatever. And then Erin's job is to help as you're navigating, preparing for a career after graduation. We really do focus much more on life after the diploma than this time as you're like getting the diploma. Like it's just kind of a natural progression, but that the career readiness takes a little bit more forethought and action on your part to really be ready to hit the ground running when you graduate. So we really want you to access and utilize both resources. The QR code that's on this screen will take you to our appointment reservation page. So you're welcome to schedule appointments with us whenever, especially with Erin, the sooner the better, really to get started on navigating your career goals and getting ready for that. Just as a heads up, we don't take any walk-ins in our office, so you do need to schedule ahead of time. And we do have a 10-minute late policy. So if you're going to be later than 10 minutes to your appointment, we'll ask you to reschedule. Okay, quick plug for student emails. Please, pretty please with a cherry on top. Check your student email accounts regularly. All USU communication has to go to this email account. Anything that I send out to you is going to go there. If you get registration or tuition emails from the university, it'll go there. So please be mindful to check that regularly and be aware of what's coming through your inbox in your student account. Okay, fun stuff in the classroom. So just basic general graduation requirements. In order to get a bachelor's degree, it requires a total of 120 credits, with 100 of those being a C- or above. And then 40 of those credits need to be upper division, which upper division just means that they're 3,000 level courses or higher. That requirement is built in with all that's required with like your major. So you don't have to worry too much about getting that 40 credits. Depending on if you've come in with transfer credits or like dual enrollment AP credits, most students end up needing a small handful of just general elective credits to help get them to that 120. So those can be PE classes, it can be our Covey leadership class that they do, or pro sales. So it can be a bunch of different things to help you get to that 120 with whatever that extra credit looks like for you. Your general education makes up about 30 credits. Those are all breadth or lower level classes. So they're all going to be 1,000 and 2,000 level classes. And then your depth education courses are building off of those breadth courses, and they will be upper division credits as well. So that's kind of built out that way as well. I'm going to skip the degree requirements for a second because that's on the next page. But overall for graduation, we're looking at a 2.5 GPA. We look at that in a few different categories. We look at it up at the top in your degree works. And I'll show you this as we play around with degree works in a second. But we look at your overall cumulative GPA as well as what your USU specific GPA is from what the courses you've taken here are. And then also your major specific or minor, if you have any program that you have in the business school, will also need to be a 2.5 for graduation. In the business school, we have a set of courses that are referred to as the Business Acumen. I kind of look at these courses as they're like the gen eds of the business school. So en route to a finance degree, you're getting a little bit of everything along the way. All of these Business Acumen courses will require a C or better for graduation, except for Finance 3200 and 3300, where those ones are our major specific acumen courses. We will require a B- or better there. And then an important thing to be aware of is our repeat policy. We do only allow students to repeat business courses one extra time. So it can be like, I mean, even if it's like, hopefully not the case, but if like you need to repeat 10 courses, like you can repeat 10 courses, but each of those individual classes can only be taken a total of 2 times. With this repeat policy, something to be mindful of is that when you repeat a course, it's only the most recent attempt that's calculating in your GPA. The university will not take your higher of the 2 grades. I've had sad experiences in the past where students have repeated a class and it's been more for cosmetic reasons. They passed it the first time, but they weren't quite satisfied with their grade. They retake it, but they kind of check out a little bit because it's a repeat and they get a lower grade the second time. So that's what goes on the GPA. And we also have to then talk about the repeat policy and where we stand at that point, where we've now taken the course 2 times, right? If you are worried about your standing with courses or the repeat policy, please come see me sooner rather than later so we can talk about options and kind of explore what options you do have in relation to that. Any questions about anything so far? I guess I also forgot to mention for those on Zoom, one of our student mentors, Ben Malcolm, is in Zoom with you. If you've got, if something weird's happening and you're not hearing me or whatever, you can send a direct message to Ben and he can help troubleshoot things or he can interrupt me for questions. So awesome. We will move right along. Hopefully you're all becoming or already familiar with DegreeWorks, but I want to just take a little bit of time to show you a few of the things that I use a lot and that I look at where I just live and breathe in DegreeWorks. This is my whole world. It's my favorite place. So I'll give you some tricks here to be mindful of with DegreeWorks. Okay, first and foremost, when you log into DegreeWorks, this looks the exact same for you as it does for me. It's a very collaborative space, especially when we get to the plans. We can kind of collaborate there in making plans and kind of moving things around. Right here at the top, your major, and if you've got a minor, anything declared, it should be listed here. If you're thinking that you're like planning on pursuing a dual major with econ, or you've got the real estate minor or something, if it's not listed here in DegreeWorks, please reach out and connect with me so we can get that properly declared so that it can be a part of your transcript and your degree when you graduate. In line with that, you'll also notice a catalog year here. This is referring to the year that you were admitted to the major. And we watch this closely because the programs do have a tendency to change a little bit from year to year. And so we want to make sure that we're keeping you on track with where you're at based off of the requirements you're admitted to. Sometimes that does mean there's some grandfathering that has to happen. And so that it looks, especially right now, we've just had a fairly big change in the major. And so we want to make sure that wherever you're at with the finance courses levels out to where we need you to be for graduation. So check with me if you're worried about any classes. There's some that have disappeared and we've created new ones. So watch that. It's also like we often have students that will like advise with their peers and they never come see me. And then they just kind of paint themselves into a corner with the classes that they're taking because they're following what their friend has done who's a year or two ahead of them and had a different set of requirements. So be watchful of that as well as you're kind of chit-chatting with your peers. We track GPA, so USU GPA is up here, your cumulative is down here. This degree progress will track where you're at credit-wise as well as with the major itself and your how far along in the program you are there. When it gets closer to graduation, you do need to apply for graduation. Not everybody knows that you need to do that. We usually recommend about 2 semesters ahead of your graduation term that you submit an application. So usually for me, that's like over the summer or the beginning of your senior year is a good time to plan on applying for graduation. And we can certainly talk about that as it gets a little bit closer as well. Okay, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. If you are kind of considering or exploring possibilities of adding a dual major or a minor or even a couple of minors, you can play around with the what if feature as well, just to kind of see what that will look like. It will pull in your classes correctly into that program so that you can really see, like based off of the classes you've taken, where it puts you in that program. Just be mindful again, make sure the catalog year is the current catalog year, and then you can put in the major or minor and whatnot. So that will just temporarily show those program requirements. While I'm up at the top, I'll hurry and show this as well. Up at the top right, these 3 dots, there's a couple of features you can utilize. The class history option will just show you kind of a simplified version of your transcript. So you could scroll through and see what you've taken, what your grades have been, all that good stuff. You can also, this is also a good way to even kind of easily see your transfer credits. If you've got some transfer work, you're not sure if it's all here, you can scroll through and it will show the university that the credits come from, so that we can make sure we've got all of your credits accurately on file here at USU. The other thing here under these 3 dots as well is the GPA calculator. This is really useful in terms of just kind of checking, like as like a personal check-in with your GPA and what if you've got like a graduation goal for your GPA, or if you just need to make sure you're sticking to that 2.5. You can also play around with the term calculator to see based off of like where you currently stand with your grades, how that might affect your GPA at the end of the semester. So normally if Jane was registered for classes this semester, it would show all of your classes that you can then manipulate the grades for each of those classes. An important thing to know here when doing these GPA calculators is that DegreeWorks is taking your in progress fall classes as though they're earned. So like if Jane was registered for 13 credits, we'd need to bring that down to 63 when we did our calculation. I personally use the advice calculator more than the graduation calculator, but you can really play around with both. The fun thing about this is that it will give you an average of what you need to like receive as in terms of your GPA over an average number of credits. So let's say that Jane has a 2.89 with, and we'll just stick with the 76 earned, but she wants to get up to like a 3.5 for graduation so that she can have a better GPA for graduate school. She would need to average. So then like this kind of shows you it's a little bit unrealistic for her to get up to a 3.5 GPA because she doesn't necessarily have, she doesn't have 93 credits remaining and should need to average a 4.0. So that can be a helpful tool to utilize as well. Okay, I'll just scroll through here quickly. Again, DegreeWorks really will do all the work for you in keeping track of your credits. So after fall semester, Jane has 44 credits remaining. It will track those 40 upper division credits and all that fun stuff there. This is what it will look like once you've applied for graduation. This advisor review, I'll initiate with you through email. You can see your gen eds. It will show kind of just a overview status of where you're at with your gen eds. It will say incomplete, in progress, or complete. Same with your depth education. We give you a little bit of overlap with the gen eds and the depth requirements with what's built into the major. So I'll also help you make sure you're not overdoing it with the classes you're taking. And then your major section will come down here. So if you've got a dual major minor, that will all follow here as well. And then your major GPA is just right here up at the top. So we'll watch that for graduation. Okay, let me jump right back to the top really quick. Last thing, plans. If we ever meet together and we talk about classes for upcoming semesters or make a graduation plan or anything like that, I'll always put these classes in plans for you to view so you can utilize that as you're getting ready for registration. And you're welcome to also create your own plans and kind of play around with that as well. The fun thing about this is that like you can just easily drag and drop the requirements and then it will remove that requirement so you don't like accidentally double grab it. You can just do a little drag and drop, or you can manually look for classes. If I'm ever recommending that you take like a depth requirement in a semester, I'll just use a placeholder. So there's this general education section, and then I'll just use something to signify the type of requirement you should be looking for. And then you can go in and shop around and see what's available for that upcoming semester and in fulfilling those requirements. You can also click Save as Copy. That will duplicate the plan. You can also do an audit and it will plug your plan into the worksheet so you can see and make sure you haven't missed something or double check that you've gotten yourself up to the right number of credits, that sort of thing. So a few different features and tools there that are helpful to make sure that you're leaving no stone left unturned. Questions about DegreeWorks before we move on? All good? Awesome. Okay. Let me jump back here. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I touched on this briefly before. Minors, there's a lot to explore with minor options if you're interested. There are a couple that fit really nicely with the finance major that are basically built in. So like if you're interested in real estate or personal financial planning, those ones really are built into the major. So you're really not adding extra credits to do a minor. So if those are career paths that you're interested in, we can certainly look at mapping those minor courses into your plan. And you can look at some other things as well based off of what your career goals look like and what might be a value add to you and your degree. I can help you with adding any program, minor, major in the business school. But if you're looking at minors or anything outside of the business school, you'll talk to that advisor in that department directly. I don't have any authority over any other programs besides business. Okay. We also want you to utilize our start desk. So we have a group of student mentors that help man our start desk as well as our front desk in the office. So if you are ever like have a quick question, but like it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to be able to meet with me, you're always welcome to stop by our start desk or even stop by our front desk in EBB 309 to ask quick questions. Our student mentors are very well trained and super helpful. Our start desk is just in that breezeway between Huntsman Hall and EBB. Right now, because we are getting ready for Career Expo on Friday, we've got drop-in resume reviews happening right now, so you can make sure your resume is top-notch for the Career Expo. And they can help with those. They can do some registration helps and things like that as well. Normally, our hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 2, but we've got some extended hours this week for Career Expo. So yeah, I will now turn the time over to Erin for the next piece.
Thanks, Lindsay. So weird when I have to stand behind the desk the whole time. So I'm Erin Bergeron. Like Lindsay mentioned earlier, I am the career specialist for our finance students as well as economics and those in wealth management. I'm currently transitioning. So for the past 5 years, I've been in academic advising. And so I'm moving out of that into the career side. I am starting to take a career appointment. So you can go and book an appointment with me on my calendar at our career page at the huntsman.usu.edu/appointment. I'm already starting to book out, and with me transitioning, I'm not taking as many appointments as I will in the future, but I'm there. I will give you a plug. A lot of students don't realize that our calendars on Appointment Manager only show up to a month in advance. So you should check daily. With it being like September 21st, you should be able to look out to October 21st now, but not beyond. But there are appointments there and waiting as they open each day. We've just had a really huge uptick in emails of students being like, I think something's wrong with the calendar. It's not showing me anything in November. It's just because it doesn't yet. So just so that you guys are aware. So I'm going to be talking about career development opportunities as well as opportunities beyond your classroom experience. The first is our Huntsman First Year Experience Canvas course. You guys should have all been admitted into this course when you became a student within the Huntsman School of Business. If you're not, please let me know and we'll get your A number and make sure that you are. It's at no cost to you. It's completely optional how much time you spend within the Canvas course. But this particular course is really structured in a way to help you start to acclimate to being a student in the Huntsman, to learn about opportunities that are available to you. It's just a really great way to be involved. It also is put into a game format. And so you can earn points for doing different activities, like seeing Lindsay for an advising appointment, meeting with me for your career specialist appointment. And you can even get points for being here in the workshop today. So they review the points at the end of each month and they showcase those top individuals that are on the leaderboard around Huntsman Hall and Eccles Business Building. And then every quarter we give out prizes to our top 2 to 3 leaderboard winners. And so that could be like a sweet Huntsman Padfolio to carry your resumes around in it, things like the Career Expo. It could be a networking opportunity where like we have a hot cocoa day. You can come and just visit with staff and faculty while you get a treat. So it's just a really great thing to help you acclimate. And then after that, you can also be in this course now if you want to. Some students are already. This is our Dare Mighty Careers Canvas course. So Dare Mighty Careers will be with you the rest of your academic career with us in the Huntsman School. Again, it's at no cost to you. It's completely how you choose to utilize it, but it is built in a way to really focus on your careers. As Lindsay mentioned, we are very career development focused in the Huntsman School. We really believe in you. We believe that you're going to work hard and earn that degree, but we want you asking yourself every semester, how's what I'm doing now preparing me to reach the goals I have set for myself? Because the chances are pretty high that you guys are in college with the hopes of having a better financial stability and a good career after graduation. And so we want to be helping you to find focus on that now from day one, all the way up until you're walking across the stage to get your diploma covered. So our Dare Mighty Careers Canvas course is a fantastic opportunity to go in and develop skills that are like soft skills, learn about things that you can be doing to help prep for your future career. It's a quick way that you can link to your career specialist to book an appointment, to see the Huntsman events calendar. And then the best part is that every Wednesday we send out announcements through the Canvas course. And even though the announcements are long, they're well over 120 characters, I promise you that. It is showcasing things that are happening for Focus Friday events. This is a great place where we showcase internship or job opportunities that are currently accepting applications specifically for our finance and econ students. It will, sometimes we have other events going on that we want to make sure that the word's going out. Like we might have a company that's taking resumes and they want to get together for a dinner. So we're announcing all kinds of things that are going to connect you with those career opportunities or to help prepare you for that career opportunity. In conjunction with that, we have our roadmap to graduation. It's really what the Dare Mighty Careers Canvas page was born out of. And so this is just what we call our roadmap. You can get a hard copy in our office if you want to come by and visit us. You can also get a PDF on the website. But the roadmap series was created in a way to help students kind of break down the career readiness path. So you don't feel overwhelmed and it's like, oh my goodness, I have to do everything like right now, like I have to get it all done. So we broke it down by, we say freshman, sophomore, but it could be also interchanged to first, second, third, because some of you have transferred in or you changed your major. And it just gives you some different tips and ideas that you can be doing to do that career readiness path. And then we have these really great videos of, my favorite part is the student experience portion in each video, because you get to hear from actual Huntsman students. The majority are now alumnus, but they share their experience in being in the Huntsman School and taking advantage of resources and opportunities. So we're going to just today watch our intro video and we'll go from there.
If you're going back to school, before you submit your essays, run it through Grammarly to quickly check for spelling, punctuation.
Hey Aggies, welcome to the John M. Huntsman School of Business at Utah State University. You are about to embark on a journey that will lead you to college graduation and beyond. We are here to share some of the tools necessary to help you reach your academic and professional goals.
It is important to know that your college experience is not just a checklist to graduation, but an opportunity to learn more about yourself and to prepare you for a successful career.
Utilizing the roadmap to graduation and student success is just one part of helping you prepare for your future. You will also want to build a strong relationship with your academic advisor and career specialist. They are an excellent resource in navigating college, helping you to overcome barriers and in preparing for your future career.
Our roadmap video series will give you some helpful tips on what you should expect, know, and do each year of college. Remember, you are all unique, so your journey may differ from some of your peers. The Huntsman School faculty and staff are here to be your co-pilots along the way in creating your unique experience. So remember to believe in yourself and dare mighty things.
As a freshman, I had a friend who was an upperclassman, and she told me, you need to meet this professor, go into his office and just introduce yourself. And I was like, I don't have his class, but okay. And I emailed him, walked in there, and he's like, so good to see you, why are you here? And I basically was just like, I'm a freshman, how do I get involved? I want to be more than just a classroom student. And he was so incredible. He sat in that meeting with me and was like, you need to join this club, you need to get involved with this meeting, come to this on Tuesday, and we'll get you integrated. And ever since then, he's been my biggest advocate. And I've seen the same things with other professors. When I went in to just tell them, put me in the game, they did it, and it's been awesome.
So I think one of the key takeaways with Eric is that relationships are key. It's very important for you guys to build relationships inside and outside of the classroom. Sometimes in the business world, we like to call that networking, right? But we really want you to get to know your professors. They're here to support you, just like we are as staff, as academic advisors and career specialists. We want to see you succeed. Like, we love being your mentors, your cheerleaders. Like, it is a big win at the end of the day when we see you reach the goals that you've set for yourselves, and that we were able to support you in that journey that you've accomplished, and that you're going to continue to move forward in. And also, it's a benefit, especially with your professors, to get to know them. And it's more than just the student sitting in the third row that answers a question occasionally, because they can become a great resource, not only for mentoring, but you might be looking for someone to write your letter of recommendation for an internship, a scholarship, grad school applications. And so having that strong relationship really goes a long way, and for a long time, well beyond graduation. Okay, so in the Huntsman School, if you haven't figured it out yet, we traditionally do not hold classes on Fridays. We're more of a Monday through Thursday course scheduling, and that's because we leave our Fridays for career development opportunities. So even though it may be tempting to run off to the slopes in the winter and go skiing, we hope that you'll actually stick around and get to know companies that are coming to visit, participate in opportunities that will help develop your skills and open some doors for you. So we do a wide variety of things. That's why we have a little collage of photos. My favorite is Leadership Forum, and that's where we have guest speakers. So like the lead commander of the Hill Air Force Base, or like Nia Love, that are up here on this board today. They've been guest speakers that have come. They usually sit on stage with another individual, often from the dean's office, and they're having like a conversation kind of about what their path has been like how did they get to where they are, sometimes what are they looking for in up and coming employees. And my favorite part, though, is that they'll open up the floor to the audience, and you guys can ask questions to the guest speaker while they're there. And then if you would like to, you have the opportunity to introduce yourself afterwards. It a little goes a long way. You never know what's going to happen. So we've had guest speakers come before, and they've been so impressed with our students that they've been offered internship opportunities in those events. And so really, you just come, we encourage you to dress your best, right? Because again, you never know who you're going to meet or what opportunities are going to come your way. We do what's called backpack to briefcase, which that's always virtual. The great thing is that we have a Huntsman YouTube channel. So if for some reason, like maybe you're in an English class on Fridays, you can't make it or whatever, please go to class. We don't want you to skip class, but we do record the events and we put them on our YouTube channel for you guys to go back and watch anytime that you would like to. We have like our Career Expo this Friday that's coming up. We do case competitions, networking events. So there's always something happening in the Huntsman. You'll get your This Week at Huntsman newsletter every Monday in your email box, and it'll showcase some of the things going on. But I encourage you guys to check the events calendar on our webpage often, because there's way more than we can fit in the newsletter and even in our announcements that we send out to you. So we really want to support you in finding the career of your dreams. Student involvement is really important. Research actually shows students that get involved outside of their classroom activities have a higher than average GPA and a higher retention rate to graduation than their college peers. This is also a really great opportunity to build additional skills outside the classroom, as well as start applying the skills you're learning in class into what we call real world settings, right? So for instance, the three ladies that are right here kind of down by the stars, this is our SEED program. So SEED is based out of our entrepreneurship office. We are currently the #1 entrepreneurship program in the nation, and we rank in the top 5 international. SEED is a fully funded program. So if you're accepted into the program, it'll cover your cost of living, your travel, and it's an internship, definitely meets humanitarian opportunity. We go every semester, fall, spring, and summer, and we often go to countries like Guatemala, Ghana, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic, and you have the opportunity to go and help individuals to start their own business, apply for microloans. Maybe they already have a business and you're helping them to adjust their business model so that they can bring in more revenue. Really, at the end of the day, it's about helping someone to become more self-reliant and to boost the economy in a third world country. And it's just a really great experience. In addition to that, we have our global learning opportunities here in the Huntsman School. These are business trips first and foremost. You'll have the opportunity to really see how business is truly a global language, but you get to do some fun cultural activities while you're away. These are professor led, which is also great because for better or for worse, a professor can get to know a lot about a student when you're traveling every day internationally with one another. So we go to a variety of places every year. This year we have 4 different locations that we're visiting. France is one of them, Cape Town, Africa, and then a Europe trip. Do you remember what the Peru? Is it Peru? Peru. For this year, we always do one over spring break, and then the rest are just at the end of spring semester. So in that May, early summer timeframe. These do have a cost to them. However, you can apply for our Global Opportunity Scholarship, which you can receive up to 2 times in your academic career. And that can be applied to a global learning experience to help offset the cost of that trip so that you have the opportunity to get out there, really see what companies are doing internationally, get to know HR teams. Maybe you want to work for one of those companies someday. And so that's a really great opportunity as well. We don't require internships in the finance degree, but we always strongly encourage them. There's no such thing as a bad internship. Even if it's a terrible experience, it's going to teach you something, including maybe you don't want to do that for the rest of your life. And it's better to pivot now and do something different than get all the way to graduation and be like, wow, I'm miserable. Like I made a huge mistake. We do also have an opportunity that's coming up that I wanted to let you guys know about. We're going to be launching it on our website in about a week or two, but we, because travel is picking back up, right, thankfully, we do a national business trip. So we take finance students to New York and we visit companies in New York City like JP Morgan, BlackRock, like there's a huge list that we go and see. We network with Aggie alumni living and working in New York as well. So we're going to start taking applications for that here in a couple of weeks. We traditionally take 14 students. We try to split it 7 female and 7 male students. And we really want to give you that opportunity. You'll be traveling with myself, Professor Paul Felstead, and then a handful of other professors from the finance department as well. And then last but not least, clubs. If you're not already in a club, I know some of you are. This is a really great way to get involved, to expand your knowledge, especially if you're looking for something very specific in finance, like you're really interested in investments, maybe you're really interested in real estate, or maybe you want to do finance, but you want to have a little background in sales, like we have our Pro Sales Club. So we have over 20 clubs in the Huntsman School alone, and then there's over 100 at USU. So there's a lot of ways to become involved outside your classroom environment. Also in the Huntsman School of Business, we have a new initiative called Your Story Matters, because it really does. You're all unique and individual on your paths, even though you're all Huntsman students and you're all Aggies. You all have different passions and goals of where you're headed. So they are currently working on getting this program up and running, but it'll be a website as well. And we'll send information when it comes out fully ready to go. But it'll be a place that not only you can go watch short videos of your peers talking about their own Huntsman experience and how that's helped them to grow and develop as a student. But if you choose to, you can also just off your phone upload your own video to share with future Aggies or current Huntsman students as well. And it may seem a little weird. You're like, why would I hang out? Look, you guys watch weirder things on YouTube and go down the spiral sometimes, right? So like you can get on there and you might hear one of your peers share something that they're doing that you had no idea the Huntsman had. And you're like, oh man, I totally want to get involved in that. And so it's a great way to learn about other opportunities in the school. Okay, so we're almost to the end. We're going to talk about dreaming big, which we want you to do from day one, right? Does anybody know our motto in the Huntsman School of Business? Yes, that was like the quietest, sweetest, like it's dare mighty things. You were correct. So we really want that for you. And part of a way to help you stay on track for daring those mighty things is to be mindful and set goals for yourself. So dare mighty things comes from a quote by President Theodore Roosevelt. We actually have it one floor up on the second floor in our hallway. If for those of you that do not know anything about Teddy Roosevelt, he was definitely a larger than life kind of guy. He really put himself outside of his comfort zone throughout his life and tried lots of new things. And so the quote really in a nutshell embraces about how, yes, you can be okay in your comfort zone. You can like have a good life, but if you don't step outside of that comfort zone sometimes and really truly dare mighty things, you're going to miss out on a lot of life and a lot of opportunities. And we want you to have those opportunities. So for goal setting, this is going to be part of the last step that you have so that we know that you've attended the workshop. We're going to have you set what we call SMART goals. So we want them to be very specific to you as an individual. Make them something measurable. So make it a quantifiable goal, right? Like instead of saying, oh, I want to go to a Focus Friday event, it's like, I want to go to at least 3 Focus Friday events this semester. Make it achievable and realistic and put a time bound on it. So we already do the time bound for you because we're going to have you set a short-term, a semester goal and a long-term. I often encourage you to do the long-term goal first. This is your dream big goal. Like, what do you want to be doing after graduation? This is also very fluid because you today might want to do something very different in 3 to 4 years, and that's okay. But this is what you want, not what mom wants or what your next door neighbor thinks you'd be really awesome at. This is your dream. And then that can help you in setting those semester and those short-term goals. These are just samples that you can utilize. They're whatever you want to make them. But I just really encourage you every semester to ask yourself, how is what I'm doing right now helping me to achieve the goal I've set for myself? Now, when I say realistic, if you were to come to me and say, Erin, I want to become besties with Sir Richard Branson and get on his space exploration program in the next 1 to 4 weeks, I can't buy into it. That's not going to happen. But if you were to put that as your long-term goal, then Lindsay and I are all over it. And we're going to help you to do our best in helping you to achieve that goal for yourself. So that's where we want the reality. So that can be a realistic goal for you. Just put it in the right place. Do you guys have any questions before we get to the very last step? Okay. Okay, so the next step is this QR code is going to take you to that page that Lindsay mentioned. It's a digital page. You guys are welcome to stick around in here and complete it if you would like, or you can scan it and go, whatever works best for you. Just please be aware that until you complete the form and submit it, you will not be complete in the workshop and a hold will be put on your account. It's going to have a bunch of boxes at the top. You'll check them all. It's just saying that you received all the information about like the repeat policy, your grade minimums, and then at the bottom will be your goal setting section, and then you'll be all good to go. So Lindsay and I will stick around until the last person is left. If you guys have any questions, we're here to support you. For those of you that are in Zoom, you're welcome to ask your question over the mic, or you can put it in the chat box to Ben and he can pass it along to us as well.